welcome back to the ORK Framework tutorial series. It's good to be back. Let's get right into it. Today we're going to be working on status effects, and we're going to be adding those in the ORK Framework. So what you want to start out doing is, while you have the ORK Framework tab selected, go ahead and go to Status. And in that you'll see a couple drop downs over here on the left, and you're going to look for Status Effect. When you select that, you should see something that says Default. We're going to be adding approximately 6 or 7 of these, maybe a little bit more. It's all in the tutorial, so you can go ahead and follow along there. We're going to keep these tutorials a little looser than they used to be. They're pretty rigid, and I feel like keeping them a little more loose now. So what we're going to do is go ahead and make all of them right now with their naming convention, and then we'll go through and start doing the settings. So let's go ahead and start the first one with poison. All right, we can just add a couple more. Just kind of get it out of the way. Next we'll do blind, followed by block. Oops, maybe less capitals. A partial yell. Enchant fire. Strengthen and weaken. Strength is one of those words when you look at it, you're like, did I spell that correctly? I feel like it would be really embarrassing if I didn't. Alright, that completes all those. We're going to remove this one, we don't need it. And you can add as many as you want here. There's really no limit, but this is as far as we're going to go. So the way poison works, you're going to want to, like I did in here, you just click the edit text button and it'll allow you to edit the text inside of here, and you're going to want to put basically the description of whatever that status effect is. So I've already done that for this one. We don't need an icon, and you'll go ahead and do that for blind as well. This is the fun part. I type all this stuff in. My mouse is acting funky. It's like not working sometimes. Everything seems to be fine. I don't know. Should not have bought a gaming mouse. Should have just bought a real one. They tend to last. Attributes. So I guess I could talk about these along the way in case you aren't familiar with status effects. Maybe this is your first, RPG. So with poison, it is typically and what I did there is, if you select the word that you want it to affect, you just click the effect that you want, left, right, center. In this case, I want it to be italics, following along with the tutorial on the website, which will be linked in the description. But poison typically affects the user's health over time. Every turn, a portion of their health is taken away, and that happens in a couple of different ways. You can do it 10% of their max health every turn, or you can do 10% of their current health. So if they have 100 health and you do 10% of that, 90 health, and then 10% of that would be 9, and then 10% of that, and it keeps going down every time the attack, or every time the status effect is active. And the same thing with blind. It will last for so many turns, like poison does. It can also be cured, but in this particular case, it would remove their hit. It would lower their chance to hit. So if their hit chance is typically 100, and it's a 10% reduction, then their hit chance will go down to 90. Although typically you don't want your hit chances to be quite so high. You want them to miss sometimes. Okay, and I wanna. There we go. All right. Looks good. Strengthen, probably increase attack and defense. Okay. And the reason that we abbreviate that is to keep it in line with what we're going to do throughout the rest of it. So all of your status values, when you look at them, it won't say the full word intelligence, it'll say int. And defense will say def, and attack will be ATK. This is the opposite. Increases the attack and defense. Oops. Yeah, okay, I did save it. That's nice. And then this one will decrease our agility. Decreases Aggie. I just want to double check there what decreases there. There we go. Okay. So now that we have all those set up, we can actually go into and start building these things out so they actually do something. Let's go and lower that because I like to keep it clean. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to, for poison, we want to look for no turn order change, turn remove, nope. Nope. And look there, effect and status. So you'll see that I put the values in for poison. It may say none for you. Want to do on turn start, and then the value type to value. Value is 5, and if once again if you look at this, you can see your little help for what each of these mean in case you're curious or I haven't covered it completely. It tells you what each of those options mean. Same thing with value. It tells you the value type, tells you the value, game, player, things like that. And on recast, reset, chance is 100%. We want it to, every time it's cast, we want it to 100% hit. So that's what that is. And the value is 5 turns. I think, right? Value is 5 turns. Yeah, time duration. Okay, and then it'll end with battle. So if the player ever, once the player completes a battle, if they're poisoned, they'll no longer be poisoned out in the world area or in any other battles. Depends on your combat type. Obviously, turn-based may put you into a different scene altogether in order to do combat, and when you leave that scene and return to the world, this would end it. Or if you're in real-time combat situation, something similar to Witcher 3, as soon as there's enough enemies are dead and you're out of battle, whatever that state is, it would trigger the poison to immediately go away. So maybe on a real-time battle, you probably, or a real-time combat world with a combat system like that, like The Witcher, you probably wouldn't want the poison to necessarily end that way, just have it be a timed thing. But for this instance, we're going to do end with battle and end on death. And that will mean if you die, it is removed. So there's one way of getting rid of it, just kill your character off. So we don't need to really add anything else here. What we want to do now is just reduce this ribbon and open up status conditions. And in here, we want to, so I've already added a condition, which is why it says condition 0. And in this condition, you're going to set your status value to 1 HP. Now we set all these up already. See over here that we did that in a previous video. So you should have this list of values here. So you're going to set it to HP, whatever one you made it, and change block is none. And if you're wondering what change block is, it's right in here. None is all changes are allowed. And then you want to enable show notification and show console. Okay. And right here, value is 10. You can change how those work. So if you made your own formula for it, or you have a player preference for it, or whatever, if any of these, can be used for this. For this instance, it's going to be value, and then the value is going to be 10. And operator subtract set in percent. So that's saying subtract 10% at turn start. That's essentially what that says. Once you have that all put in, you're done with your condition. And we are, let's just reduce that one. I want to check block start real quick. Sometimes these open on their own and then I get confused. It's really embarrassing. Okay, so once we're done with poison, let's go ahead and go over to blind. Open up our content information, make sure it says okay, we're good. Let's go to, let's see, it did it. Base settings. Don't really need to do much here. Yeah, stackable, none. We want that to be none. Yeah. Okay. Effect settings. No. Alright, we do want to enable end with battle and after none in a battle. And we will put this as end on death. We're not going to necessarily make the person keep their blind if they die. If you died, just and this is where you would actually add the items that would cure that. So if you create a series of items like an anti-blind, this is where it would go. Okay, let's see what we're looking for. Add bonus. Nothing is better than coming back to something that you've been away from for a very long time. There it is. Whew. Alright, so bonus setting, we want to create a custom bonus. And then we want to chance hit bonus right here into -20. And that's basically saying that you're reducing that hit chance. Okay, so once that's done, just go and close that bad boy up, and we are finished with blind. Now you could be saving in between all of these. I don't. I just wait till I'm done and just do one big save once I kind of finish a block of stuff, or in this case, once I finish the content of the particular video. Oh, there we go. Okay. We want to go to effect settings. This time we're going in here, and since it's a block, we do want to block attack. And you can set up as many of these as you want. In this case, it's just attack, so the player can still defend, escape. We're not going to have changing equipment or commands in our combat, since it's all going to be purely turn-based. So let's actually select that and just turn it blue. We do want to block abilities. That'll mean that if you can't use fire or ice or anything like that, if it's whatever you define as your abilities. And then we do want to also block items so that they can't use items. Alright. They can still defend and run away. Then we want to set up our effect end settings, and we'll actually leave these open because they will, I believe, carry over to the next thing, which is convenient, especially if you aren't very good at remembering things like I am. So the block will end with end with battle, and after turn end or turn. Let's do turn start. We want it to be a little more complex than that. So turn start, value is 3. And then the chance is 50%. And what that'll do is it'll reset their, they have a 50% chance for it to go away every 30 turns automatically, or they can cure it themselves on turn start, which the status effect will be removed after a defined number of turns at the start of the turn. So there you go. Or you can do it turn end. Doesn't really matter. It works the same way. The status effect will be removed after a defined number of turns at the end of the turn. So it's an extra turn when the user applies the effect to himself. Use this to avoid a one-turn effect to be removed right after applying it. We'll do we will. This way it'll go a full 3 turns, then add a 4th. It really doesn't matter. We're probably not gonna test it that thoroughly. Just block. Okay, so we're going to enchant fire. And what we want to do is enable element. Yay. There we go. And here we have all our elements we created in an earlier video. Good for that. We don't have any more of these, so we'll just reduce that down. Effect end settings. We'll do none, end with battle. Then we want to also we also want it to end on time, and battle and turns. That would do that. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want to do. Turn end. So change this to turn end instead of none. It adds this as well. My head decided not to work there. Okay. Strengthen. We're going to go into... Here we are, yes. We can go and close that now. Didn't really need it. Effect end settings. And we want to enable a battle. After turn, so turn end. Let's change our value to 5. Again, just want to double check this real quick. Yeah. And another 100%. We need to add an extra turn. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing. Oh, well, actually, we need to actually strengthen our character. Status conditions. Add a condition. Let's go to our status values. Attack. I don't think we actually need one of these. No change block. No damage. We want that set to value. We'll set this to 15. That means that your attack value will go up by 15 points. Operators add. Set in the value instead. And select cast. So, oh, cast is no longer an option. On apply. I guess that must be what cast is. Status effects applied, yeah. Okay. That is why we do the tutorials, because these things change. Alright, now that we have that done, what we're actually going to do, this is a fun little trick, is we're going to remove this one, take this bad boy, and copy it. And then just move it up. And we'll, oh, actually, just remove it again. I forgot to do something, and what we want to do is we actually want to copy this one. Where'd it go? There it is. Huh. Change this to defense. And there we go. That's it. So we just want to add the additional effect of it. So then we will copy this guy, or this one. And then while we're here, we will change this to... Actually, we can leave those, because it's weakened. And it'll be subtract, apply, subtract, value apply. And then weaken and edit text. Increases attack defense. Okay. So nifty little trick there for getting this stuff done a little faster than normal. And we could probably actually do this. Now let's go ahead and remove these bad boys. Alright, and we'll copy, call this one speed up. sometimes I jump a little ahead of myself, and things can become easier, make them more difficult. Okay, so speed up. Won't worry about all that stuff. We'll just sort of change this around to Aggie and I guess we have to open it up. All right, there we go. So that should work identically. We'll turn end. Perfect, perfect. Reset. And on death, yeah, it's fine. Just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Play cast. Okay, perfect. We're not changing anything. Okay, perfect. Now, here. Aggie. I don't know why I keep saying it that way. There we go. Agility. Subtract. Remove. That's some here. There we go. Alright. So we're all set. Got all of our status effects in. Go ahead and save our settings and confirm. Save all this yummy dialogue. Okay, and that will end up doing it for status effects. So that's the video, folks. Remember to like and subscribe if you do like the videos, and subscribe so you get the latest updates. There will be the little card that plays at the end that tells you all that fun stuff with some music and some tweeting. It's all very quaint. And I'll see you in the next one.